Awesome. So now I'm excited to introduce PJ Gordon, who is a jack of all trades, truly. I know he started off in artist management, he's done journalism, PR, and is now artist relations and a playlist curator. So welcome in, PJ. Happy Saturday. We're happy to have you.
Thanks for having me. Really excited to be here and talk about some artist relations.
Absolutely. And we're excited to hear more. And so um, I know that you, like I said, had a very vast background and that you have developed different skill sets in the music industry. So can you tell us more about your journey leading to where you are currently?
Sure. So basically my journey sort of, I had worked in the Chicago arts industry for a few years as a photographer's assistant. But my journey in music really started as I was graduating high school. Two
Mhm.
really good friends of mine started a rap group called New Kings. We later renamed it to Future of Bloom. Yeah, they were starting out and they just needed help. So I just, sent emails for them, got a couple shows, just gave feedback on what they were doing and like, the rollout process. And I realized, oh wow, this could be a full, an actual thing. And I realized that was the starting of management. And that's pretty, I've noticed that's how a lot of people I know got into it. They start with the helping out phase, I typically hear it called.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, once an artist sees that you're bringing value, then, a more formal relationship tends to get established. But anyway, from there, to help out more, I started getting into journalism so I could, get some press for them, build a network. So I worked for a few smaller-ish online magazines, and from there I started working for Fake Shore Drive, which is a really big Chicago publication. And yeah, from there, kind of just spiraled into other things. I got asked to do playlist curation. I did event production. I think most of it sort of just kind of centered on me trying to help my guys out. And also along the way, I realized, oh, I really like meeting people and talking about music and
Mhm.
just, being a part of that whole process. So that started me getting my hands in a lot of different pies.
Yeah, 100%. And I know when we were on the phone a little bit, PJ and I had a very similar background where because we were interested in just helping others, we have this passion for music. That was why we were able to build all the skill sets that led us to where we are today. So, and right now, obviously, you started off with artist management, you've done journals and PR, but now you're in artist relations and playlist creation. So, can you break it down for everyone in the room? What is artist relations and how does that relate to artists directly?
So I was talking to my friend about this morning actually, and we were discussing how there are a lot of different definitions for it. I think different people
Mhm,
say artist relations is different things. The way I tend to look at it is it's a person that works for a company, a DSP, a brand, like a tech startup, I guess it could be, or a label even, and it's that person's job to ensure that the artist is satisfied with their organization or product. So that could be,
mhm.
making sure that like, hey, like is your playlisting okay? Or, are we playlisting you the way that you're satisfied with? Or, are you able to use the interface of it? Well, helping with troubleshooting stuff. It could be a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But for Audio Mac, for instance, primarily I was there to make sure that people could, use it effectively. I explained the new features that we roll out. And
Mhm.
again, that kind of just relates back to playlisting. A lot of it was just, me making sure that I was ahead of new releases. I could help them with any rollout I could. And yeah, just in general, assuring that everyone is, going copacetically.
Yeah, 100%. So you're sort of that bridge between the artist and the operations and how, um, like the success of their rollouts and whatnot.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a good way to put it. Also, the thing is, though, it can work on different scales. Like on, I think
Mhm.
one end of the scale, you are essentially just a middleman, and you're very much so a company person. But I think on the other end of that, you kind of get more on board with the artist team. You will likely still, well, you actually have to still work for that company, but you might
Mhm.
be a bigger part of rollouts. You might be, in meetings earlier on and not just the guy that they go to when something is amiss.
Mm.
I think that, like that's kind of a similar component to management. Like, it's largely built on understanding and trust of each other, understanding and trust with each other. So, yeah.
Got it. Okay, awesome. Yeah, and that leads pretty well into my next question. So we have a lot of artists in the room, right? Or artist managers in the room. And so for artists or artist managers wanting to connect with an artist relations manager, coordinator, whatever it may be, what are some best practices and approaches or just building a relationship with an artist relations manager?
Um, for me personally, I oftentimes live on Twitter. So a lot of it for me was just following people who I think are cool. Oh wow, I like their tweets. I like their opinions on the music industry. They do
Mhm.
interesting things, and from there it was kind of just building relationships, organically that way. I guess every now and then it would be a direct DM and ask questions, but I think that was more the exception than the rule. Usually it's just, I don't know, just comment on people's stuff. You know what I mean? Like I um respond to them a lot, or just like I make points that add to their conversation, instead of just going into their DMs like, oh, like check me out, bro. I mean, I won't lie, I've done that before. What I mean, I've listened to people just responding to me randomly with their music. I've checked it out. Sometimes it's good. I won't lie, that kind of, if you just randomly respond to me with your music, I'm going to probably think a little bit like, I'm going to go in biased and not really be ready to like it. So just know
Yeah.
that. But yeah, a lot of it is just, making friends, what I mean? Just being cool. I mean, cool isn't like, hey, someone that everyone wants to talk to, or someone that is, an actual asset to a conversation.
Mhm.
But that's virtually, I think that's more so what has to happen now. But I think, like, especially before a pandemic, there are always events, and I'm in Chicago, and so
Yeah.
there are always brand activations or events with free drinks, and that chooses an opportunity to, oh hey, like I see you on Twitter. Um,
Mhm.
Honestly, I'm still not sure if this is an odd thing to do, but I will very much so say, hey, I follow you on Twitter. What's up? We're meeting in real life now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just making online friends, as I feel that most of us are probably used to at this point in the world.
Absolutely. Um, I saw Amir say dark days on Twitter now. LOL. Yep. I know
Uh,
Twitter is
uh,
going through its thing.
I see. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Actually, I
Amir.
think it's Ladi. That is literally how we connected, and she does really cool work. And also, she just
Aw,
has really
PJ,
cool.
love you.
Oh, I love you too. Yeah, no, just literally always has like dope opinions on things. I don't know, like, or just like, oh, I never saw it that way. Um, yeah, Twitter
Mhm.
works, guys.
100%. So stay active on Twitter. I know it's the dark ages. We don't know what's happening, but use that platform, use the platforms that are available to you. Samira had a follow-up question to that I saw in the chat. How do you earn trust with an artist beyond loving the sound? So how do you develop that relationship?
Hmm. Um, I would say this is kind of tough, but like do things that don't directly benefit you.
Hmm.
Tell them about, I don't know, another thing that's happening somewhere else that might, that doesn't necessarily get you money directly, but make it clear that you're invested in them, not just because you like it, but because you believe in them. I don't know if that answers your question or not, but I think there's one thing where you believe in music, and then there's another where you believe in them as a person. Um, Also, just honestly hang out and not talk about work, like, or, not talk about like their music, just talk about art that you like that isn't theirs, stuff
Hmm.
that isn't getting anybody any money in that situation, but like, oh, cool. Like, um, it's interesting that you sound like that. Like, oh, you liked Lupe Fiasco a lot as a kid. Cool. Me too. Or, movies like, oh, wow, I love that movie. I love Goodfellas as well. It's just, again, like, I feel like it's a lot like making friends. I mean, I think we tend to
Hmm.
look at the industry as like being fake because you're making friends professionally, but I don't know, man. Like, what is anything without friends? You know what I mean? I think it's just it that's the part to me that I've really liked, is that it's so ingrained with building a community with people.
100%. And I think that you said it best, like friendship can start in the DMs. It can
Oh,
start in the comments. And, the more that you can connect in person, the more that you can find common ground and just be a human being before you think about the career and the artistry and your next step in that will
Right.
come with developing a very genuine relationship and wanting to know who this other person is.
Right. Right, exactly. Also, I see someone say how to me personally. What are my specific examples?
Yeah.
I mean, the first guys I managed, we had went, we had been best friends for like 3 years already. So I think that was a different situation. But um, my when I worked with this other artist named Rick Wilson, um, honestly, that was like a long road to trust. He definitely didn't trust me with a lot of stuff at first. I mean, he's a pretty um I don't know, savvy guy in that way. But it was just spending time. You know what I mean? I think it was just spending time with him and him seeing that I wasn't necessarily, just there as long as it was profitable. You know what I mean? Or like I wasn't
Mhm.
planning to dip as long as as soon as a better situation came along. That I could be trusted with information. That's a big part of artist relations. I mean, the entire industry really, but being
Yeah.
trusted with information. Um, I had another point to that. I can't remember exactly what it was.
All good. If you do remember, feel free to throw it in there. To me, the music industry and building genuine relationships and building a team is a lot like dating, right? Like in
Mhm.
order to establish that trust, you have to really break down, do you have the same values? Do you have the same vision? Do you want to carry that forward in the same way? Or like, can you find ways to collaborate in healthy manners to developing that career and whatnot? So, um, it's really nice to hear that, someone that you worked with early on was someone that you took that time in developing that relationship and that dynamic and that you got there. So
Yeah. I think
thank you.
also not being a yes man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Please go
Uh,
on.
I think also not being a yes man is a pretty important aspect of that. Saying like, oh, like, yeah, this rough track is really dope. I think it'd be cool if you did this, or like, oh, I see you tried that out. Interesting. What made you, go in that direction?
Mhm.
Getting good with constructive feedback, but not being a dick. And also, I mean, artists in the room, like, I don't know if anyone's ever told you guys this, but artists are sensitive. Artists are, it's literally like walking on eggshells feels too common of a phrase, but that's kind of what it is sometimes. It's just, when you don't really know them very well. But yeah, very much so, just like being there to make the best product possible, but making sure, I call it product. Wow, that sounds weird. But yeah, the best song, the best anything possible, while making sure that their voice is still heard through the whole process.
100%. And it's totally fair for artists. Like you're putting yourself out there
Mm,
in a very intimate,
absolutely.
vulnerable way, So to be aligned with people that respect that and want to provide that sort of feedback and, constructive feedback in order to take you to your next level is huge. Um, and so I know obviously we talked a lot about artist relations specifically, but you're also a playlist curator. And for a lot of artists, they're told, get yourself on a playlist and that's gonna skyrocket this, or you'll get more exposure to this. So what are some also best practices or maybe some resources for artists who want to get placed and don't really know how to start?
Mm. Um, I mean, I hate to go back to Twitter, but I think there are a bunch of resources. I mean, most people,
Yeah.
well, not most, but a lot of us have our emails right there in the bio. LinkedIn. I did a lot of LinkedIn stuff connecting with people. It's honestly it's finding a curator, a playlist editor, or whatever, and kind of just personalizing it to them. Don't just drop a link. Say, hey, how's it going? Like, if you have a little bit of time, could you check this out? Um,
Mhm.
don't go to like just for instance, like someone that curates the Pollen playlist. Don't go to them with with your Detroit rap necessarily. You know what I mean? Like go like tailor it to what they're into, or what they tend to respond to, their individual taste as a fan, really.
Mhm.
um and again, like just in general, building a network, uh
Yeah.
going, I feel, like Audio Mac, for instance, that that the fact that I did the playlist right there was right there in the playlist itself, so it was
Yeah.
easier to reach out to me. I understand Spotify, for instance, might be a little bit harder to reach out to people, but just find them, and I don't know, don't be weird with them.
Yes. Okay. Don't be weird. Don't just send the link. Don't be like, we're a literal stranger. I don't know. I've had some messages in the DMs and the requests that are like, it just in all caps, like, listen to my new song now. No one normal speaks like that. Like, no one
Yeah,
wants
right.
to be overwhelmed with your outreach. They want to hear you and the story behind it, and keep it brief, keep it concise, but say, hey, how's it going? Like,
Yeah, right.
build that relationship starting there. I saw a couple
Mm.
follow-up questions. Um, let's see. Any tips on reaching out before you need a placement? Like, what we can reach out on to build a relationship without an ask. So,
Right.
John, are you asking like what sort of conversations you can have before, yeah, before asking about, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, like what could you like what could anyone reach out on before you're like asking for something? Like how can I like maybe add value to them before I, try to get it myself?
Mm.
I mean, that's a really good question. Um, honestly, the
Oh, if you're still unmuted, if you could keep yourself muted for now, that'd be great. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
I thought that was somebody saying something. It's I mean, honestly, the truth of it is, it's a lot of times that there isn't a lot you can do if you haven't met them in that, in that specific situation. What I've done, not as a curator, but when I as a manager, if someone kind of just asked a question, you know what I mean? Like, like, hey, does anyone uh know where I can get the best blank? I hit up my friend in New York, was like, hey, do you know where they, I think it was like like a sub or something. I was like, hey bro, where do you go to get your subs? And they told me, and I immediately responded to that person, and then we built a relationship. One time someone needed an HBO login, and I gave them my HBO login, and
Yeah.
they playlisted me, like, or they playlisted some artists after that. So yeah, answer your question, I guess, is kind of just seeing anything you can do to help them out before they've helped you. Does that answer your question at all? I feel like that's
Yeah.
real.
No, no,
Heavy.
100%. Like we're already following, we're already seeing what they're saying. Like, so if they ever ask something like that, like be the first one to respond, kind of a thing, right?
Right, exactly, exactly. Or like I said, that kind of, as I said earlier, just adding, not even like helping them, but I mean, like if they say an opinion like, oh God, Marvel movies are so trash right now or something, I don't know, but adding to the conversation, just making conversation with somebody, I mean, I don't know, guys. I feel like in my experience, most of the music industry people live on the internet anyway. So we're kind of always engaged in various conversations. So yeah, I would say building a relationship, just as a mutual, and then saying, hey, by the way, do you want to check out this song I'm releasing / my artist is releasing? I hope that helped.
Definitely. Thank you.
Cool.
And I think that you bring up a good point, because of the pandemic and whatnot, a lot of people are still online building their social media platform. They're using that to convey what's happening on the daily, right? So I know there's burnout, it's real, right? But maybe spend a few minutes going through Instagram stories and seeing what people are up to, or scrolling through Twitter, and just build that conversation, right? You get to see a little bit of the insight of what's going on in their heads and what they want, what
Exactly.
they're talking about. And you never know what's going to resonate with you and how you can then add to that conversation. So
Right.
take a few minutes and, don't let it overwhelm you also, but take a few minutes and get to know who people are outside of the music as well.
Yeah, exactly. But also, a lot of you is right. We will also literally just ask Twitter for songs. After
Yeah.
this call, I was going to tweet out, if anyone has music to send, just do it. So yeah, it's kind of just like waiting for that moment. Sometimes people are like, I'm listening to every submission for the next hour, which is, I don't know, that always kind of stressed me. I'm like, wow, you're really putting yourself on are you just like waiting for a flight or something? But yeah. So yeah, it's kind of just, both of them, like, wait for something not related to music to come up, but also sometimes something music is just going to come up.
100%.
And
And I
LinkedIn as well. Yes. LinkedIn is a great way to find folks and what they do. Sorry.
100%. And I found a follow-up question which might go back to LinkedIn, but how do independent artists or artists wanting to connect with curators find curators on a platform like Twitter? Do you just follow the people around that, or yeah, how do you start even finding that?
Honestly, like I guess people do it like less so now because everyone's afraid of getting their DMs flooded. But a lot of times people just literally have in their bio what they do. You know, if you just search, if you search at Audio Mac, you were able to find me. I think I've changed my bio since then. But yeah, like you just literally search for what, like I don't know if I'm thinking of a new platform, like, oh man, Amazon Music. Or like if a new thing comes up, just literally search that, and you can search not the tweets but the people that have that in their bio when that comes up. Also, we kind of all follow each other. I think like what happened to me is I just followed a few people, and then I saw who they were talking to, and yeah, it's kind of like it's not a follow train. I think that was a different thing, but yeah, just like follow it. Also, like, I know it's easy for this to sound really social climby, but I don't know. That's just never been how I thought of it, because the way I see it is like, hey, we're all into the same things. Why would we not? Or, why would I not join this community? Why would we not be friends? Because that's how it is for me. Chicago is a really tight knit community in that way. But, whenever we hang out here, it's never like, oh, wow, I'm going to, to shake some hands. It's like, oh, cool. Like they're going to be, I haven't seen that guy in months. I'm sure he's going to be at this event. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's literally just making friends.
Yeah.
And I think if you go in with just trying to see what you can get out of those friends, then yeah, it's not, you're not going to have a really good time. But if you're going in with the knowledge that, oh, wow, like, these people are cool, I'm cool, we all do cool things together, like, let's link.
100%. And I saw Delilah, I know you just said that you moved to LA and you're wanting to meet new people. I think, like PJ had said, intention is really key. People can read through your intentions in a message. They can read through, when you're being genuine and whatnot. And so I think a huge part of building that friendship, and when you think about just building any relationship, is going in with the intention of, I want to connect with you just as a human being. I know personally, I spent a lot of time in the pandemic building my community that way. I hopped on Zoom calls with people for 20, 30 minutes every single week and just chatted with them. It doesn't have to take a lot from you in order to start developing those connections and those relationships. And, at some point down the line, you'll be able to also realize where you can serve one another and how you can use that. But I think, PJ, you made a great point. A large part of it for you was also finding the right community for you. You're in Chicago, you're in a space where y'all connect, and you have the same background, you have the same interests, right? So it's also finding a community that shares and wants to continue building with you, but not just your artistry, but you as a person. And so, PJ, obviously you've been in the industry for a long time. You've worked in many different areas. And so can you tell us about one of your favorite projects?
Good question. I think the funnest thing I ever did, you guys know Easy on Netflix? Okay, so for those who don't know, Easy is a show Netflix made. It's about just regular people in Chicago. It's not like a reality show, it's just like lightly scripted. Anyway, it was one of my favorite shows. Like I was really into it. Me and my friends would watch it at like 4 a.m. after the bars. And I noticed there weren't really like very many Black voices on it. They had Black characters, but they never felt like Chicago people, which is like, I don't know, you can just kind of tell. But I started the year saying, wow, I'm, because it was made here, the guys here, like most of the actors were here. I'm like, I'm gonna find this guy and get some Chicago, some actual like Black people in this.
Yeah.
And I walk into the office. Me and my business partner were working out at that point. Wesley, shout out Wesley. He helped me out a lot at that point. But anyway, I walk in and he's like, "Hey, do you know who Joe Swanberg is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he makes the show Easy." Anyway, Wes had ran this home at a bar, and we spent that summer helping out with the show. We got 2 of our artists on there. We got 1 a full episode. Anyway, that was just the fun. Like that was the funnest thing for me because it was work on a show I liked. I had never been on TV sets really before that. Yeah, it was just a really cool process.
That's so dope. Are you kidding me? And so,
It was,
PJ, for you, how did you go from I love this show to, obviously you're telling yourself, I'm gonna find this person, but how did you find that person?
so I'm not a super spiritual person in that way. Like I am in some ways, but like manifestation has never really clicked for me. So I
Mhm.
never really thought of that's what it was. But I don't know. It was just we're kind of all I think that's kind of also the Chicago attitude is that you just make stuff happen, and so it's like, oh wow, we met this guy, that's an opportunity. It wasn't like, oh, bad a stain. It wasn't that, but it was just the opportunity presented itself. He was a
Yeah.
cool guy. He liked to hang out. So we just hung out with him for a few months, introduced him to our artists. He saw, oh wow, you guys are just, some dope people doing fun things. Uh so yeah, it's hard to say like how that happened. Honestly, looking back, I'm
Mhm.
still like, dang, what did we do exactly? But yeah, a lot of it was just making friends. He just
Yeah.
is a guy that liked to hang out. I don't think that would have necessarily worked with like we wouldn't have got on Game of Thrones with that. But I think for this opportunity, it was just all about being a good hang.
Absolutely.
Also, the
Absolutely.
music was dope. That's nothing. Both of them were making really really good music that was perfect for what they were doing.
Nice. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to find that season. Do you know which season, which
Uh,
episode, so we can watch it?
Last season, so the third season.
Mhm.
I was just watching them the other day.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up in a sec. But yeah, it was they're fun. They're both like some of my favorite episodes of the season too.
Love that. Okay, very cool. And so, PJ, you and I had hopped on the phone a couple days ago, and a huge part of being in the music industry is not just the awesome wins, the awesome, like, we connected with this person, but it's also picking up and learning from when the ball is dropped or when you don't succeed. Um, so can you chat a little bit about how you picked up from, moments of failure and provide any sort of advice to artists in the room or, people in the music industry that just want to keep going?
Ooh. Uh, that's tough because I'm like learning that lesson every single day. I tend to not take those things really well. I tend to uh retreat within myself when I feel like I haven't really, did what I set out to do.
Mhm.
But I think what I found is just remembering that you're here for a reason, like, and I don't mean like a cosmic reason. I mean like you were given the opportunity for a reason, like clearly people still believe in you. And just one mistake isn't going to end you, there's literally always, you can always try again. Um and I don't know, no one around you is 1,000 times more competent than you. You know what I mean? Like they might know just a little bit more than you, they might have seen a little bit more than you, but literally they're all figuring it out. Except the really, really good ones. But no, okay. Yeah, so it's just like once you just remember like everyone else has gone through that, everyone else has failed. You just haven't seen it. Nobody broadcasts every time they fail.
Mhm.
Uh I don't know. I think I did that for a long time. I kind of was, tweet that out. But yeah,
Yeah.
no one's really doing that. You don't there, for every win you see someone have, there are 100 invisible losses. So I just try to remember that. I don't be like, oh wow, everyone's failing, but it's just everyone's doing the same thing I'm doing. Everyone has seen this exact process. So yeah.
100%. And I appreciate that you also said, especially with social media, again, pandemic, like we were airing ourselves through social media, we were hopping on these Zoom calls, a large part of what we present is the best. We're not always going to be like, oh, do you know how much I messed up this past week? So you only get to see a snippet of people's lives. And I know personally, as someone that heavily dealt with anxiety going into the music industry, massive imposter syndrome. Um, I appreciate that you said, you have to really honor the fact that you're going to mess up and that's okay. Like everyone to get to where they were, the people that inspire you, the person that you want to be, they had a similar journey. They had to learn from something. Um,
And My bad.
So, oh,
I,
but
I've seen people who, like they were fortunate enough to like get really far without having a major loss. Like, kudos to them. Like
yeah,
it's also their skill, but it's also, it's circumstance. But then when they do take an L, they tend to like kind of, crumble a little bit more. I'm not saying like, keep failing on purpose, but it's just, steel sharpens steel.
yeah,
I think it's, it like you learning early on prepares you for a lot more.
100%. And so that was really my last question. But I saw that there were a few more questions in the chat. And so I
Okay,
wanted to
wow.
open up the floor to all of you. So if you all have a question, feel free to use the reactions button and the raise your hand feature. So anyone who would like to ask their questions. Okay, cool. I'm gonna scroll through the chat because I saw a couple more that I had missed. But if any of you have any questions in the meantime, again, feel free to use the raise your hand feature. Okay, I saw a question about, here we go. Someone that was interested in becoming a playlist curator themselves. So PJ, for someone starting off in that, how can someone take that journey to become a playlist curator?
So my journey there was a bit unconventional. I had done journalism, for Fake Shore. I had, done management things, and in my I mean, not my by the first tweet on my time, the pin tweet
Mhm.
said, "I fucked someone to that playlist you made is the greatest compliment you can give me." And off the strength of that, Joe Van Gogh hit me up, and that is how I started working for Audio Mac. So I can't really like, so what I did wasn't really the way. But I would highly recommend just make playlists, just make playlists and, share them as much as possible.
Yep.
I think it kind of, I was already doing that. I would already make playlists, but, it wasn't like a thing I was trying to do for a job. Honestly, I hadn't even really considered that.
Mhm.
I just was making playlists to, like, I don't know, like share share some new stuff I just found, or like, hey guys, this is what I've been making while I cook lately. Um, but yeah, just build a portfolio in that way, like, just build, as many playlists as possible. If you're always listening to music anyway. I wasn't, I didn't typically listen that way. I'm a album listener. That's usually how, I don't just like switch through songs a lot. But yeah, so I think that's how most people listen to it though, right? Playlisting. So yeah, I would just recommend making as many as you can and spreading them.
That's iconic
Um,
though. You started
yeah,
off,
what?
that's pretty iconic though, that you started off with Audio Mac that way. So
I immediately, because I was still kind of just freelancing at that point. I mean,
mhm.
Audio Mac was freelance, but like I was just just getting money where I could. Once I got that gig, I immediately called my parents and was like, "Guess what they're paying me to do now?" Because my mom had very recently been saying, "Oh man, you gotta stop the music thing." Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't know. I was just said that was a fun way to get a job, I thought.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. I hope that answers your question. Amir, I see your hand up. You
Yeah.
did. Here we go.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good man.
Yeah, it's
How are
kind
you?
of a good. It's kind of a two-part question and a little bit unrelated. I just wrapped up a music video. I'm super excited about it. I was gonna ask you, what would you prioritize in terms of releasing a music video? And then the second part, unrelated question, what's your favorite track off the new Nas album?
Um, I'm gonna start with that. I'm not. It's just very funny that you assume that I have listed. I have. I very much so have. I love Nas, but it's just like, dang, do I look like a Nas fan? But no, uh, TikTok, right? That's what I'll probably prioritize. Make like a TikTok snippet, or in general snippets. Like make a like a 20-second or a 10-second thing to release to socials before it drops. I would probably like make a 20-second clip, like taking like a trailer essentially. Yeah, make a trailer and post that, like how do movies promote themselves? Um, and to answer your Nas question,
You
my
looking at
bad,
the
really.
track list?
Yeah, I really do like the album. But I never really remember track titles. I like Once a Man, Twice a Child. Michael and Quincy was hard. 30 was really hard. Yeah, it was solid. It was solid. I only listened to it one time, but yeah, it was dope.
All right. Does that answer your question, Amir? Awesome. Cool. Let's see. Love Me Roommate. What's
Oh wait, okay, real quick. Also,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Pay for the YouTube ads. Like a couple $100 will get you a lot further than you think.
Absolutely. Yes. I feel like YouTube ads are skipped on so often. So
It's the key. I don't know, it's a cheat code. I've seen some crazy things happen with them.
all right. So TikTok and YouTube ads for music videos. Dope. Awesome. Love Me Roommate. Go for it.
Hi, thank you for putting this on. I missed the last one, and I've already gotten so much information. I just kind of asked a question already, and it didn't. I had some here answered, but so for the what's it called? The LinkedIn, because my artist name is completely different from, my government. Do you
Okay.
recommend having like two, or is it like, I'm not really sure.
I haven't fully found the answer to that, honestly, man. This is I could be way off base here. Honestly, I think people tend to not really look at artist LinkedIn's like that. I try to, but I don't know. Like I think that sounds weird, but that might be a manager thing. You know what I mean? And don't get a manager before you need one. But I think that's a good thing to have a friend or make one under your government name. I think that is a good idea too. But yeah, having your artist name as the LinkedIn, that always I'm like, oh dang, what's up with that? Is this like a spam thing? They're about to ask me something, like they're very clearly about to ask me something instead of just like networking, like actually building something here, community.
And
Okay.
off of that, we actually
Okay,
had
Lottie says they look at her artist as LinkedIn, so maybe.
Mhm. And that's what exactly I was gonna say. We had a LinkedIn workshop recently for independent artists for the VIP workshop. So if you're ever interested in more curated insight, you can definitely hop onto Finesse VIPs. But you can also integrate your artist name somewhere in your bio or something, like if your primary goal right now is to use LinkedIn for a business and whatnot, you can keep your government name, but it never hurts with that searchability to have that somewhere on your profile also.
There we
That
go.
makes sense.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Thank you for the question, man.
Awesome. John Fry. John, we haven't seen you in so long. Hello.
I know, man. I miss you all. So I was running around Europe. But I'm back now. So
I
was
love that
listening.
statement. I was running around Europe.
I had to.
Okay, bet.
But yeah, I got a kind of big question for you. So I'm right now full-time podcaster, new artist, and I'm curious, what are some big red flags in contracts, maybe like signing with a label or signing with a manager, that artists should look out for? For example, I recently signed a deal for our podcast, and they were like, "Oh, we're giving you like an annual guarantee." But we didn't realize till we signed it was like at the end of the year. We thought it was like every month. So
Okay.
like, are there any like things like that like come straight to mind that like new artists should look out for before like signing any contracts?
This is like kind of a more basic one, but if they want money from you, if you are, I feel like you're asking about more like if the artist knows what they're doing already. But I feel, just in case anyone didn't know, if somebody wants you to pay to perform or pay to like, I don't know, I saw somebody got like, they said Atlantic Records was wanted them to buy a plane ticket to come out and like listen. It's just like, that's not a thing. They're not gonna ever want you to send them money. But in terms of like a more official contract, like you said, see when the terms of payment are. See exactly what is the the time frames you're looking at. Just kind of stuff that like, I would get a lawyer. Honestly, I think, just in general, like as a rule of thumb, always have a lawyer look over something, even if like you think you know what you're doing.
100%. Yeah. Good stuff.
In terms of like glaring red flags, man, I don't know. I feel like it's just the usual shady contract stuff, or again, get a lawyer to avoid that.
100%. 100%. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you, man.
All right, Stefan, I see your hand raised. What's up?
Hey, how are you guys?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. And I appreciate this conversation. I just followed the page and jumped on. So I'll be doing this moving forward. But R&B artists here in South Florida, I've been following directly on live, and I just got the Zoom link, so I'm in here now. My question is, as far as a local artist or just period, on all your social media profiles, should you integrate your entire life or just promote your art?
I think people, especially in this day and age, I think people like seeing that you're a regular person or a real person. I should say, they like to see you hanging out with your friends. They like to see what you're listening to or what you're watching. Yeah, I think you should definitely integrate, like see you with your family. I don't know. I had one homie. He would like, he worked at UPS. He posted he was working at UPS. I think,
Yeah.
A lot of people will gravitate to that. I think a lot of it does depend on what is your brand, so to speak. You could also go the route where you're a mysterious poster and you only post like every month or whatever. I think that's a thing. But I would recommend integrating your life and making it so your fans can see that, oh, this is they like what I like.
Okay, already perfect. And I'm not sure, as far as the links to sending you music, is that going to be later, or did I miss
believe
that?
so.
Okay.
Oh no, we had the submission already. Yeah, just hit me up. My my Twitter DMs are open. You can email me stuff. It's all online. Love to listen to anything.
Okay, cool, perfect.
And yes, also, what as a fan, what type of content would you like to see? That's a good thing to keep in mind here.
Okay.
Thanks, Mikey.
Already, thank you.
Thanks, Mikey. And so from here, we are going to head into our listening session, which is one of my favorite parts of every event that we have. So essentially what happens is we listen to some of your music and provide feedback to it. And one of the reasons why we do this is because as artists, I know we can get in our heads a lot, right? Like you're hearing the same song, you're working on it, and it's always great to get an outsider, just another ear on it. And for artists who are growing, it's also good to hear the sort of pieces of feedback that you could receive or things that you could work on in your own artistry, or maybe you hear something that you like and you're like, oh, that's what that was. And for myself, and I say this almost every time we have a listening session, but as a self-proclaimed professional fangirl turned music industry professional, I love being able to hear new music and have those fangirl moments and being able to, add that to my playlist. Yeah, fangirls for the win, exactly. So it's a great moment to just celebrate music. So up first, we have Lottie's artist TK. Let me just get the right screen. Lottie, do you want to quickly introduce TK, who he is, and all of that?
Yeah. I didn't know I was gonna be first. Fuck, hi. So TK is a pop fusion artist based in LA, born in Rhode Island. Fun fact, and it's not applicable to anything. I just found that out recently, and I was like, why didn't you tell me? But anyway,
They were hiding.
He was hiding, exactly. Just run it, please. Thank you.
Okay. Here we go, y'all.
Sitting on an island, listening to silence. Mirror, mirror hanging. Tell me who's the fairest of them all. Show me my competitors, 'cause pressure makes diamonds. the center of my sky, girl. I'll follow you anywhere you are. Started when I heard that you're all of what I'm searching for. Something that I can't ignore. So I end up loving you just like that. I'm tumbling down a fountain, go stuck in the ground. I can't get up. Even if I lose it all, then baby I can fight for it all, but I won't, cause I know that when you're in love, cause 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 when you're in love, when you're in love like this, you've already won. You're in love, cause when 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 you're in love, when you're in love like this, you've already won. You're a thriller in the night, yeah. A killer in disguise, yeah. Okay, baby, you're a siren. And something in the water tells it all. You turn me to a trident, a serving up a Poseidon. And if he brings a titan, then all love, I'll give you my life. Started when I...
Oh, it never feels good having to pause. But
Sounds
PJ,
good.
what did you think
Thanks for
about this track?
playing.
That was
Yeah.
hard.
Thanks,
Is
dog.
that's what Rhode Island is producing? Like, that's fire. That's
He
fire.
don't claim Rhode Island. He claims to DMV because that's where he went to school. But
I mean, I don't know. He could be the hottest off the island. No, it was dope. I really like how it was mixed. I like like the beat sounded real minimalist for a long time. That was hard.
thank you. Yeah, he wrote it, produced it, sang it, recorded. He does pretty much all. His
Oh,
own
dang.
stuff,
Okay,
so,
okay, fire.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really good. And I also love just, I think Shine had said in the chat, just like how all the different elements play into each other. You're never like, I don't know, you're not expecting one thing, but it just comes in perfectly. You
Yeah,
know?
like he's very big on that, just like ear candy and just like using all these like weird sounds. Like that's like his thing.
Awesome. Well, tell TK that we all loved his track. And
Thank you.
I think it's for artists that are seeing their comments, you're seeing the love in the chat, make sure to also take screenshots of this, because I know it's a great way to just remind yourself like, yo, I'm doing something dope and I should continue doing this. So make sure to continue doing that. And for those who had asked, it is too late to submit music for this listening session. We always ask that artists submit by Fridays, just so we can listen and make sure that things are going well. So yes. Okay, up next we have, also thank you, Lottie, for submitting TK song.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you. Up next we have
Also, real quick, also, Lottie,
Oh.
you've been such a big help this whole. I'm sorry. It's just like, you like, thank you so much.
I appreciate it. We gotta connect, PJ. We still haven't gotten on a call, but yeah.
This is literally the first time we've like actually looked at each other,
Facts.
even virtually. But yeah.
Awesome, I love it. Up next we have Amir, the Bull Bay. Hold the line. Amir, do you want to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about the track?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Yeah, thank you for facilitating this and really holding space for creatives and dialogue. It really does mean a lot, seriously. So yeah, my name is The Bull Bay. I'm a Philadelphia-based hip hop artist. This song is a bit of an indulgence for me. I kind of go into more, I would say, spacey, trippy kind of sonics, but this was something I just couldn't resist, and so I had a lot of fun with it. And I collaborated with an artist from Cleveland named Boy Toy. And we never met in real life either. So this is a true product of the internet. Like we just kind of collaborated online.
Foreign exchange stuff.
Yeah.
Shorty busting out the front and the back like it's a robbery. She hate politics but love talking about the economy. She learned something new and then she wanna try it out on me. Change the subject from money, she said please don't, I got allergies. Yeah. Oh yes, she invest, stock index, ETFs, give me checks, pay my rent, not for sex, that's finesse. Why you vexed and you stressed? What the fuck, nigga, pay me my respect. Yeah. Oh, the line. I ain't even gotta do it, low bro, gon' get 'em, yeah. Hey, run it back, let me get it one more time, like. Yeah. The line. I ain't even gotta do it, little bro, gon' get 'em, yeah. Yeah. Run it back, let me get it one more time, yeah. The only D that she ever needs are deposits. She a queen, if she thirsty, she drinking from the chalice. All these niggas sliding in her DMs, man, they childish. They forgot about you, wait up, give them a reminder.
Full of baddies and we all winning. In the Holy Ghost, but we all sinning. In the hood, Lambo, alternate. Hoes chasing cloud and something always rented. If I want it, then I got it. All I make is big deposits. Only get big bags, all that little shit childish. Always did my own thing, in my own lane. Living like that, look, bitch, I'm used to say yes.
Oh, the love.
It's only 30 seconds left. Wait.
All right. The people want more. The people want more.
The
We
people
got
want
you.
it.
I ain't even gotta do it, little bro gon' get him, yeah. Yeah. Hey, run it back, let me get it one more time, like. Yeah. The love. I ain't even gotta do it, little bro gon' get him, yeah. Yeah. Run it back, let me get it one more time, yeah.
That beat was nuts. Nah, yeah, it was dope.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, it's a internet product. I found this producer online. He was nice enough to- So yeah, everything was just done by just like DMing people.
Yeah, that's fire. I love when that comes together. No, I really like your flow on that. It kind of reminded me of like certain Drake songs, but I fucked with it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
love
appreciate it.
Nice. Okay, Amir, just real quickly, how did you connect with these people over the internet? Like just mutuals? What was your process like?
Yeah, no, it was interesting seeing the conversation in the chat and even the conversation about like just meeting people online. I ask people, I'm obsessed with music, right? So I'll talk about like, yo, what's your favorite album? You know, what's the best opening bar on a second verse? Like I'll just have little dumb conversations like that online.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to think specifically where I met the producer. I think it was IG. And I think I met Boy Toy in a Discord. And it was just a lot of random conversations. I have the most random conversations.
But it made a fire product, so can't complain. That's where random conversations can go. So awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for submitting. You got to music.
Thank you guys, seriously.
Okay, cool. Up next we have Spill Raw. Spill Raw, I just saw you in the room. Want to say, hey, introduce yourself, the song?
What's up, guys? My name's Spill Raw. Originally from LA. Been living in Mexico for the past 3 years, and Noche was one of the first bilingual songs that I dropped. And it actually got Spotify editorial club play. So I'm really proud of this one.
All right, let's listen to it.
Noche cae, se me olvida. Noche cae, se me olvida todo. Oye, mamá, dale, gana, come, que, haya. Please check it like a rack. No, I ain't get it off the rack. Said he ballin', show me stats. I hit the club and I blacked out. Came here with my girl. Gucci on her like Keisha. 50 bands with that curl. Money growing mature, and there's more coming for sure. Ice on me like I'm hurt. Oh, that's your girl like her. Ooh, yeah. Noche cae y se me olvida todo. No quiero terminar la noche solo. Noche cae, se me olvida. Noche cae, se me olvida todo. No quiero terminar la noche solo. Noche cae, se me olvida todo. Ella quiere lo mismo, ella quiere noche buena, que no le dé pena. Yo creo que de veras, mira como nena mueve la cadera. Oye mami, ese cuerpo desespera. In a function I black out. Girlies on me like cat mouse. Bring your friend, I won't tap out. I swear. Ella quiere lo mismo, ella quiere noche buena. Oye mami, ese cuerpo desespera. Noche cae y se me olvida todo. No quiero terminar la noche solo. Noche cae, se me olvida. Noche cae y se me olvida todo. No quiero terminar la noche solo. noche cae y se me olvida todo.
All right, PJ, what are your thoughts on this?
I really like the way you go in and out of singing and doing the more rappy thing and like English and Spanish. Just like, yeah, it all feels like it's real smooth transitions. I like that. Yeah, the Spanish parts were also my favorite parts.
It's also an audio mag, bro.
Oh no, okay. Honestly, bro, like I feel like I've seen it. Oh no, I've seen your name on Audio Mac before. I thought I put you in my Sleuths playlist, but maybe not. But no, that, yeah, I'm gonna definitely look for you on there.
Bet.
Awesome. Thank you, Spill, for sharing. Up next, we have Shine Going Gone. Shine, do you want to say hey, talk about the track, anything like that?
Yeah, sure thing. What's going on? Am I mute? No, I'm not muted.
No, we good.
What's what's going on, PJ? Thank you for being here for the information. My name is Shine. I'm an electronic artist and a producer. I'm in Philly, and yeah, there's an instrumental track. I hope you like it.
A lot of Philly people today. Bet.
Let's listen to it. All right, PJ, that was Going Gone. Any thoughts?
It made me think about like SoundCloud mixes, which I used to listen to a lot. So thanks for bringing me back to that. That was hard. It was like it. I like the natural, so it sounded like something like raindrops in there. That was hard. I would also really like to see an animation to this. That would be fire. Do you soundtrack things at all, or is it like have you
Man,
done that? Have you done?
I haven't worked with like filmmakers yet, but I would definitely love to. Yeah, this is part of a mostly instrumental project.
Okay.
But I do vocals on some tracks, but I also like just kind of the like sensory kind of experience, like you're talking about the raindrops and the different found sounds, things like that. But I'd love to move into soundtracking too.
Yeah, I want to listen to that in the dark and just like with headphones on. That sound fire.
Appreciate that. Thanks for listening, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah, Sean, I feel like you have such a unique, defined sound, but anytime that I hear a track from you, I know it's you, which takes a lot, like you
It
have
does.
this defined sound that people know is yours. And yeah, definitely get going on an animation. The people want it, okay? The people want it. They want to see the visuals that you would come up with for this. So me included. So cool. Thanks for sharing, Shine.
Oh, thank y'all.
Of course. Up next, we have Balanced by Riza, or RZ. Riza, are you in the room?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Introduce yourself, the track, all of that.
Well, I'm Razai, otherwise most people know me as RZ. How to say alternative hip hop because I like to mess around with a lot of different sounds. This song's called Balance from an album I dropped back in 2020. So my homie Tony Swing produced this, and I think it's nice and bouncy. So enjoy.
All right, thanks.
I got what you need. Okay, yeah, I love a challenge. Keep me on a swivel, you can't knock me off my balance. Always looking mad while you filled with so much malice. Yeah, come take a sip about this chalice. I got what you need. Okay, winning shit like playoff. Clear about to take off. Feelings had to break off. Yeah. Okay, winning shit like playoff. Theory about to take off. Feelings had to break off. See, as of late, I'm focused on the bag. Trying to give myself a life that I never had. I don't wanna rent no more, I'm trying to own the pad. And if we stepping out tonight, I'm throwing on the plaid. Yeah, the way I move, the way I think the uni works for me. The way we ride, the way we stride, nobody works for free. I've been a player in the shit, it started in 03. Don't draw attention to a sin and keep it low key. Don't be too focused on who know me. We only riding with a few, so don't approach if we ain't homies. Cause it's the winner circle only. See where your passion, I can see it in your eyes and you a phony. My father told me never fear a man, cause we all bleed the same. Pocket full of game. Yeah, I wrote it loud, this shit don't ease the pain, but it ease the brain and keep us floating on a higher plane.
All right, PJ, feedback. What do you think?
I dug it, bro. Like I said, you can very clearly rap. I like to see like some more out there stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like that felt like a lot of rap I've heard, and like I said, you have the ability to rap. You are a cold rapper, I can tell. But yeah, I like to see you like experiment more with like a sound.
Yeah.
Say sound, I guess, would you elaborate?
Okay, but I guess like a different type of production. Like I said, you know, I don't know. Like I said, that kind of that just it sounded like production I've heard before. Like it, yeah, I don't know, just like a different hyper, you know, different area of rap. Maybe is what I'm saying. I don't know. It's kind of hard to really get into, but yeah, no, I think you're a good rapper. But yeah, I was, you know, more alt style rap.
Gotcha. Definitely will venture off with new sounds as always.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, you know, play with it.
Yeah, Riza, I was gonna say, I always love your flow. Like you have good delivery.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got
Yeah.
good flow going. And so I think if you play a little bit more of the production or you know, or things like that, and really hone in on like, you know, how I was saying Shine has a very unique sound, and I don't like to compare artists necessarily, but like you've got such great flow and delivery. So now it's like, can we find a production or a sound that's really yours? Now, as soon as we hear it, we're like, yeah, you know that's RZ. Like, you know that's the man, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay,
Kit Kat is a lot more eloquent than me. Thank you for that.
good. Yeah, you know. So thanks for sharing, Riza. And
yeah. Thank you, bro.
Yep. Last but not least, we have got DJ Brown. What are your artists, right? You want to introduce yourself, introduce the artist, the song?
Yeah, you know, I'm DJ. I'm not sure my voice comes across.
You're good.
But I'm co-founder of 9-5 Agency, based here in Philadelphia. The artist is Theo Major, formerly Derek Jawan. We are working on an EP to release next year. This is the focus track after we release a couple singles. When we release the EP itself, just want some feedback about what you think.
All right, cool. Let's listen to it.
pinch me, I don't wanna leave this. Addicted to your love, you got me feeling. And I can't get enough, you know I need it. I need it. You got me geeking. Fumbling over words, you left me speechless. Looking for a while, girl, I've been seeking. And I can't get enough, you know I need it. Dark skin with the long hair, you know I need you here. Tattoos with the attitude, please girl don't go nowhere. Kiss me slowly. Dark skin with the long hair, yeah. Baby, it hurts.
Nah, we need to make this man famous. I'm sorry.
That
We do.
was
this is a
cold, bro. No,
vibe.
that made me want to
Fire.
dance.
Thank you. So the
Is that
hmm?
are they from Philly?
Yeah, they're from West Philadelphia.
Okay.
Really, Derek Jawan. He had some success as far as like performing opening for Masego and Coda the Friend, a few others.
That
But
makes sense.
we're trying to take it we're targeting like UK to the house scene, but it's definitely mostly upbeat R&B and pop that we're going for.
Sound like you got the right target, bro. Like it I think it could really make a splash there.
Thank you.
Man, that beat was fire. Did they produce as well, or?
So we use there's a it's funny because these guys are like barely like in their 20s. They're OB Records. It's based in Philadelphia. It's like they're like between 19 and 23. It's like 4 or 5 guys, and they produce and engineer everything for Theo.
Oh dang, that's a lot of. But no, that was they got it. They got a formula.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, DJ Brown. That was dope. And with that was the last song, which makes me so sad because that was dope. Oh, Spill, what's up?
Hey, PJ, what kind of playlist do you curate on Audio Mag, or where can I find your playlist? Because I'm on your IG, and there's the link to this, but
yeah. So I didn't actually go over this. I'm not like fully at Audio Mac anymore. I still I do still make playlists there, but I'm actually at Lululemon now. But anyway, the playlist I do still do on Audio Mac is Sluice. It's like it's kind of just what I'm feeling, just like odd stuff I'm feeling. I guess if I had to compare it to something, it would be like Pollen, but yeah, it's just like fun things I'm feeling. And also doing like a Chicago bars one that is just like, like the rappers. But yeah, the main playlist thing I do now is actually on Lululemon. The mirror, the smart mirror they have where you take workout classes, I do a playlisting for the instructors there.
dope.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. And I've added the listening session playlist to the contact sheet. So I'm going to drop that in the chat one more time, just so y'all can connect with one another, listen to the music, all of that fun stuff. And so to end this off, just want to give a massive thank you to PJ. PJ, thank you so much for joining us. You are incredible. I just wanted to ask for any last pieces of wisdom, advice that you would give to everyone in the room.
Someone asked earlier, what would I tell myself when I first started? I don't know if they're still in the room, but mostly the failure thing. I wish I had taken bigger swings. I think starting out is like when you can, do whatever. I think I was way too careful. So I would say, just take as big a swings as you can, and just literally don't be afraid of failure. Don't that's not a thing at all. I was like 17, I think. And looking back, it's like there's truly no such thing as failure at that point. So yeah, that's why that's the takeaway. Don't be afraid to mess up.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And if you all appreciated or gained something from PJ, can you unmute yourself and give us one of our Finessed Media's woo woo?
Yeah.
Appreciate that, guys. Appreciate that.
Woo woo.
Hey, Kat, thank you so much for having me.
Word.
Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for being here, guys. You sat and listened to me talk for like an hour and a half. That's crazy. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. We loved every minute of it. And so from here, we won't have an event next weekend because it's Thanksgiving weekend, but just want to say thank you to all of you for being here. You know, the Finessed fam is really what carries Finessed Media forward, and we are truly appreciative for all of you. And so from here, we will see you first week of December for a Finessed VIP workshop. That's going to be with Sierra from Love Renaissance. She's going to be talking about Web3 and how artists can
I love
incorporate.
her. Sorry, not to interrupt. She's so fired. I need everyone to be there for that talk.
Absolutely. So that's going to be open to our VIPs, but you can be on the lookout for the RSVP in a couple of weeks. So with that, have an incredible rest of your weeks. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we will see y'all very, very soon. Happy Saturday. Bye, y'all.
All right, see you guys.